Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Jonah from Discover, and today we are talking to Michelle. Michelle, how you doing?
Good. How are you today?
I am delightful. I'm bundled up. It is cold here in Minnesota, but I am excited to be here and ready to learn. Where are you tuning in from today?
I am in Chicago. It is dreary outside, but that does not mean that today will be dreary. It will be a very, very great day.
Love it. And for everyone who's watching, please hop in the comments. Let us know you're here, that you can hear and see us all right, where you're tuning in from, something you're excited to learn today, how you heard about Michelle, how you heard about Discover, or just say something you're excited to learn. We are here for you, and we love hearing all from you. So use that comment section as a discussion place. And if you're watching the replay, hop in the comments and do the same. We do come back and read those comments. Love replying to it, seeing where you're all at today. And if anything moves fast around you or Michelle is moving fast, don't fret. There will be a replay available. It'll be on the YouTube channel, on the Discover event page, and emailed to you along with the course offer, which we'll talk about a little later. And just to make sure everyone's in the right place, like I said, we are talking to Michelle and we are talking about how to land more brand partnerships as an influencer. In this live workshop, we're going to break down the methods influencers can put into action to land more paid partnerships. And a little background about Michelle, if you don't know, Michelle is a digital creator, social media strategist, podcaster, and influencer, and has been an influencer for 12 years and has been able to use social to grow her business to multiple six figures using organic social media strategies that she shares every day on her channels. Michelle, I know you got a lot to share with us, and I don't want to take up all the space, so I'm going to hand it over to you and we can dive in.
Yes, thank you so much, Jonah. I'm so excited to be here. As he said, I've been an influencer for 12 years and it's been a great experience. So I can just go ahead if you want me to if you want
Yeah,
me to share
I'll
the
bring
story.
them up. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been an influencer for 12 years, you guys, and it's been an insane ride. It's been so fun. I see one of my friends, Diola from Chicago. She is a huge supporter. Thank you for tuning in today. And thank you all for tuning in. I definitely appreciate the support. And gems will be dropped today. So you're going to want to have your pen and paper because I am known to drop some really good gems. So today is all about how to land more brand partnerships. I want to help you monetize your influence, make real money, and work with your dream brands. The first thing I want to say is you're already an influencer, right? You're already influencing your community. You're already influencing your family. So you are already an influencer. Let's get that straight right now. You're already an influencer. An influencer is a person with the ability to influence potential buyers of a product or service by promoting or recommending the items on social media or in your normal life, right? I realized that I was an influencer when I worked in healthcare. I started my natural hair journey. That's how I started on social media and on YouTube. And everyone used to ask me, Michelle, how did you do your hair like that? How did you do this twist out? And I thought to myself, wow, I'm really influencing many women to start their natural hair journey. And so that's where I started in my journey as an influencer. So there are celebrities, right? They're influencers, but they're also people like you and me who are also influencers, who may be macro or micro influencers. Macro influencers are trusted stars with a big reach. There's professionals who are also influencers, which may be journalists, business leaders, subject matter experts. I consider myself now a professional influencer, a business influencer. I talk about social media strategies. I help influencers, creatives, and small business owners to build organic social media strategies. So I love it. There's also micro influencers who are highly relevant and trusted within focused networks, and nano influencers, which have a really good opportunity right now, you guys, to work with brands because they are looking for trusted people and trusted advocates that share value with their community. So, what are we talking about today? We're going to talk about the basic principles that you need when it comes to pitching brands so that you land that brand deal. We're also going to talk about what you should have in place before you even start pitching brands because you got to have that together. And also what it takes to even land those brand deals successfully. And also how to work with brands even if you think you have a small following. So, you're in the right place. If you know the importance of pitching brands, you may be an influencer, you may be new to the influencer game, you may have been an influencer for some years, but you're just wanting to know, how do I really pitch the brands? How do I really land these brand partnerships? You love creating content. You love what you do. You love sharing it with your community. You may feel overwhelmed or frustrated when it comes to pitching brands. You may want to make more money when it comes to pitching brands. You may be frustrated when it comes to landing those campaigns, and you know you have what it takes, because I told you, you absolutely have what it takes to work with brands and get noticed. So my goal for today is to provide you with the basics of building your pitch so that you land brand deals no matter what your following is. And here's a little about me, because you're like, Michelle, why could you even tell me about pitching brands? What makes you the person to teach this? So again, my name is Michelle Thames. I've been an influencer for 12 years. I'm a social media strategist, a digital content creator. I own a social media agency, Thames Media Solutions, and we help influencers, small business owners, and creative to build organic strategies. I've also worked in influencer marketing for a top beauty brand. I was the influencer marketing manager, the social media manager, the email marketing manager. I did everything digital. So when it comes to working with influencers as well, I also have that background in being able to work on the brand side. I've seen so many pitch emails come through that I can definitely save you some time in the struggle when it comes to actually getting that pitch across to the brand. And here are some brands that I've worked with. This is not the complete list, but these are some of the brands that I have worked with. Grove Collaborative, Culver's, Pantene, Olay, Live Real Farms, Toyota, Wilderness Resort in Wisconsin Dells, eBay, and Maddie's. I've also worked with McDonald's, Subway. So many amazing brands over my 12 years as an influencer. A lot of these brands I have pitched to and landed long-term partnerships with them, one of them being Grove, another is Olay. I've also worked with Culver's long-term and Toyota long-term. So long-term partnerships are gold, okay? So I want you to maximize this workshop, okay? So turn off your distractions. Let's get really, really focused. Bring the good energy. If you want to chat in the comments, I will take questions. So chat with me in the comments. If you're feeling something during this conversation, let me know, okay? And take some notes, because I guarantee you that gems will be dropped. So I want to start off with some myths that you may be thinking, right? My following is too small to pitch brands. Your following is not too small to pitch brands, okay? Nano and micro influencers are the influencers that brands want to work with right now. Why is that? Because you have an engaged, authentic following, okay? If you have 100, say you have 1,000 followers, but a lot of your community interacts with you, that's what brands are looking for. So it doesn't matter the size of your following right now to pitch brands. So that's the first myth. So if you want to type that in the chat, the first myth is to stop believing that your following is too small to pitch to brands. The second myth is that the brands will find you. I'm here to burst your bubble. While they may find you, that is not the best strategy, right? They're going to find you, but you also want to be pitching brands. If you want to be successful in landing multiple brand partnerships and this being a part of your business that you can consistently do, you're going to also have to find the brand. So while they may find you through hashtags, through social media, through your Instagram page, you also have to find them as well. The next myth is that the market is too oversaturated. Oh my gosh, they're like a bajillion social media experts, social media strategists, influencers, but I will absolutely not let that stop me from continuing to pitch brands and be a part of a billion-dollar industry. You guys, the influencer marketing industry is a billion-dollar industry. There's enough for all of us to go around. It may seem like it is oversaturated, but I guarantee you, if you show up as your true, authentic self, you will not have a problem with it being oversaturated. Another myth: if you have a lot of followers, your pitch will always be a yes. Absolutely a myth. I work with one of my clients. She actually got an amazing job from all of my free social media strategies and tips that I share on my Instagram page. She landed a 6-figure job with a brand, you guys. Blew my mind. But she recently told me that now she is in the position to approve and hire influencers for campaigns. And she's listened to a lot of my live sessions where I talk about influencers that may have a large following, but they may have bought bots or it may be inflated, right? I want you to know that brands are absolutely looking at that when they want to work with you. Now, you can have 1 million followers, but if your community is not engaged, if you don't fit with that brand, it's not going to be a yes. So just because you have a large following does not mean that you're always going to work with brands and that it's always going to be a yes. So let's get rid of all the negative thoughts that we thought about when it comes to pitching brands. I'm sending you your good vibes, okay? Because you can totally do this. And I'm going to share with you how. Absolutely going to share with you how. So here are some goals. And these may not be your goals, but I do want you to write down your goals. How much money are you currently making with brands? How much do you want to make with brands via your blog, via your podcast, via your social media? There's other avenues outside of Instagram that you can work with brands on. Some examples are maybe a brand hires you to be on air talent for an event, or they hire you to speak at a conference. There's a lot of different ways, and it's just not about brand partnerships being sponsored posts. So I want to tell you that there are a lot of ways that you can work with brands, and some of them you don't even have to post on your page, right? If you have a lot of followers, it doesn't mean that you will always get a brand deal. Yes, the Clemens, I love that. I love that. So let's get into it. How to land brand partnerships. Now I'm going to go through some principles that are going to help you. Okay. So the first principle is to make sure that your brand messaging is clear. And when I say this, a lot of times I go to an influencer's page and I don't know what you do. It's all over the place, right? We really need to niche down. I know people probably say that a lot, niche down, but I actually think that niching down has helped me so much. When I started off as a natural hair influencer, there were a lot of other natural hair influencers, but when I started, I'll be honest, the word influencer wasn't really a word, right? We were all just starting out. We had no clue what we were doing. There was and still is a lot of natural hair influencers, but when I pivoted my brand from being a natural hair influencer to a social media expert, I had to make sure that I was clear in the process that I did that. I had to make sure my bio was clear. In my bio, I tell exactly who I help and what I do. You need to have that statement be very, very clear, okay? Because when a brand comes to your page, if it's all over the place, they're going to be like, oh, well, he or she is not even for me. They don't even represent the brand, okay? So what makes you stand out, right? Stand out above everybody else. If you have quirks or whatever that is, do not care what anybody else thinks. That's the first thing, okay? Do you and be super authentic. What value do you even bring to the brands? You have to understand that when you work with brands, they are going to want to know what value can you bring. It's not all about you. And we're going to talk about that too. If you're already creating consistent content that's on brand, and when I say that, if you want to work with Culver's, for example, I will go to Culver's page and see, well, what kind of content is Culver's posting, or what kind of influencers have they worked with? Let me see what type of content they are creating, so you can get an idea of what type of content that you should already be creating so that you continue to attract those brands. You also want to figure out what your mission is and make it very, very, very clear. Okay. You want to have a mission. If your mission is to help other women succeed in their relationships, if your mission is you want to help other women find that right outfit for date night, whatever it is, you want to make sure that you have a mission, that you have a purpose when you are an influencer, because again, now brands, they want to know, is this influencer the right choice? Especially, I think a lot of brands in today's age are wanting to work with influencers for long-term partnerships. And to do that, you have to figure out what your mission is, and you want to make sure that it fits with that brand's mission. So if you have any questions, feel free to chat in the chat. Do not be afraid. I will answer all of your questions. I'm here for you. So the second principle is to create consistent on brand content. Okay. Again, find your niche. My niche is social media. And also, I'm an influencer. I don't go outside of me being a social media expert and helping people build their influence, their personal brands, thought leadership. I don't go outside of that. Of course, I talk about my family. I used to share my fitness journey, but as I was really niching down and considering what I want my brand to represent on social media, I took a lot of that stuff out. I do share a lot in my stories about behind the scenes of my day and things like that, but I try to keep everything on brand, on niche. It's just easier for me. Okay. So you want to create content you want to be paid for, right? So again, going back, if you were looking at Toyota and you seen that they've worked with different influencers, what type of content are they creating? How can you're not going to steal this. You're not going to steal their content, but you can get inspiration and recreate that type of content so that you are creating on brand content for that brand, right? So you want to get them to notice you. Work with the brands before they work with you. Tell them about them in your stories. Tag the brands. Let them know that you're there. My husband, I'll tell you a quick story about my daughter. My daughter is 7 years old. She's an influencer, guys. If you want to follow her, her Instagram is Riley, Riley, Jane, Jayne, Thames. We started her page 2 years ago. Okay. She plays basketball. And there's a whole nother world of girl basketball players that are popular on social media, especially Instagram. I mean, these girls have 500,000 followers. But my husband runs her page. We're both social media experts and strategists. And he wanted to get her in front of the right people. So he came up with a strategy on how to build out her content so that we can start to get her noticed by different brands. What he did was able to get her noticed by Wilson's Basketball, which she did a Instagram training live with Wilson's Basketball. There's another page called Overtime Women's Basketball that has shared her and that follows her. They have a lot of followers. June Ambrose, which is a famous fashion, she works in fashion. She has over 1 million followers. She shared my daughter's reel to her page. So again, creating content that you want to be paid for. And because we did that, we were able to land Riley a paid brand partnership with the Home Court app. So there was a Space Jam. There was a Space Jam campaign that was done last summer, and we were able to be a part of that as a family. So there's so many opportunities. So I just wanted to give you an example so that you can start creating this type of content. My daughter's page is Riley, Riley, Thames. And we'll put that in the chat too if you want to check it out. You also want to develop an editorial calendar, a strategy, a plan. You just don't want to be posting off the cuff. When you have a plan of what you're going to post and what that strategy is going to look like on social media, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, whatever that is, you still need a plan, okay? You also want to think like a business. Being an influencer, having an influencer, it's a business, okay? So you want to start to think about it like that, because when the brands approach you, you're going to want to know what do I even do? Okay, I'm entering in this brand partnerships. What is the copy? I'm not the copy. The content brief look like? What is that even? How do I even submit the content to the brand? It's so many things, right? So you want to start off, and if you're not thinking about it like a business today, I want you to start thinking about this like a business. So the third principle is do not make the pitch all about you. The brand doesn't want to hear all about you. They actually want to hear how you can help them, okay? First of all, you want to find the right contact. My secret is always using LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a great place to find marketing managers, influencer marketing managers. Say you want to find the influencer marketing manager for Old Navy. This is a gem. So I think that you should absolutely write this down, okay? First, make sure you find the right contact. So if you're looking for Old Navy influencer marketing manager, Old Navy influencer marketing manager, you're going to type that into Google, and it's probably going to come up a search. It's probably going to, if that person has that in their title on LinkedIn, you'll be able to find them. And then boom, go right to there and look for their email. But I know that Old Navy has their marketing team on their actual page. So if you go to a website, a lot of the times I just scroll down to the bottom, because to be honest, a lot of people don't know that down at the bottom is where The goods are, if you are trying to reach somebody in influencer marketing, if they have their titles on the page, make sure you look for like marketing or partnerships with us. Their contact information will be there. So don't make the pitch all about what you want. The brand doesn't care about what you want. They want to know how this can be a mutually beneficial partnership. So you want to tell the brand how you can provide value to them. The fourth principle is you want to pitch with purpose all the time. Okay. I pitch with purpose. I don't just pitch off the cuff. The brand has to make sense. It has to make sense with my brand, right? So again, you want to have a pitch plan, who you're going to pitch, when you're going to pitch them, what it's going to be about. You also want to research the brands, because I would hate for you to get in a brand partnership with a brand that you have not researched and that may not really fit your mission, right? Develop relationships, start interacting with the brand. I think it's easier if you've been already interacting with the brand, they see you, and now, oh my goodness, this will be a great partnership. Example, I have been working with Teachable for about 2 years. I started using Teachable 2 years ago, but if I had not put myself out there, I would not be sitting here in front of you right now. I have done a lot of work behind the scenes to build a relationship with Teachable, with the people who work at Teachable. This is very important. A lot of people are not telling you about the relationships that they have built with the brands that they work with. A lot of the times when you see influencers getting multiple repeat brand deals or working with brands in whatever capacity, is because they have built that relationship. That is my specialty, and that is what I help my students with, is to build those relationships, because that is how you're going to get more repeat multiple brand partnerships. So I definitely love my relationship with Teachable. They have been amazing in supporting me, and it has just been an amazing partnership. And I am excited to continue my partnership with Teachable. Even attending events as well. I went to an event one time and I was able to pitch the woman at the event after I went to the event, because what did I do? I went to the event, found out who the influencer marketing manager was, because she had it written right on her shirt. I introduced myself. I let her know, thank you so much for inviting me to this event. I love the products. I cannot wait to get home and try them out. Went home and tried out the products, posted about the products, tagged the brand. And then I probably waited a few weeks, or maybe to Monday or Tuesday. And then I sent her a message and said, it was so nice meeting you at the event. I would love to partner you, blah, 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 whatever I said. I'm going to show you an example of a pitch that I sent when I got an immediate response. But that is how you can also land brand partnerships at different events. Now, I know we're in, COVID. Hopefully soon we'll all be able to be back out, going to events. I mean, I know things are opening back up. So if there is an event and there's a partner there, or there's a contact there, please, please, please develop a relationship. Tell me what happens, and I guarantee you'll probably be on your way to a brand partnership. So this is an example of an email that I sent. I was pitching, I wanted a trip to Wisconsin Dells. So I told her exactly who I was. So this is a pitch from when I had my blog. I still have my blog. I just have not been active on it. It's part of my natural hair. So I was telling her, hey, I'm coming to Wisconsin Dells in August and September. I would love to do a sponsor feature on the Wilderness page and promote about families coming here, all these things, right? So this is what I told her I would give her. Do you want to see the response? And I got this response back almost immediately, okay? This is what she said. Hi, Michelle, checking in. This sounds great. We will make this happen for you. Stay tuned. Simple as that. Now, it may not always be this simple. But you have to tell them what exactly you're going to do for them. They don't care that you're an influencer and that you have 1,000, 10,000 followers. They don't care. How are you going to be able to help them? What are you going to be able to provide? We were able to go on this trip. They also featured, I did a blog post. They featured my blog post on their website, which got me so much traffic. I was able to showcase how amazing Wisconsin Dells is and how amazing the Wilderness is for you to spend your next family vacation. I did Instagram stories. I did everything. Because why? I knocked it out the park, because I knew that I wanted to work with this brand long term. When you over deliver, it's going to be good. Okay. So this is the fifth principle: follow through. If you don't follow up or follow through, it's not good. You want to stay in contact with whatever representative that you pitched. I will say if you pitch 2 weeks, wait another 2 weeks. If you still don't hear back, follow up. We're missing out on money because we're not following up with brands, okay? Deliver on time and over deliver. Just like I said, I always over deliver. I always want to give more. Follow up and build those long-term partnerships. It's so important. And now is the great time because I want to tell you all about my amazing course. I do see a question here. How can this information be used by small business owners? I heard you speaking on Clubhouse this morning, and I think I heard you say this is a good webinar even if you don't want to be an influencer. Absolutely. So again, if you are a business and you're wanting to work with influencers, this course that I'm talking about is for influencers that want to pitch brands. But if you are a business owner, you can totally also be an influencer. Who says that you can't work with other apps that you use, or if you have a specialty? But if you also want to work with influencers, I think that there was some really good nuggets in here on how to approach influencers. You want to be able to weed out who will be right for your business and why. Does that influencer fit with your campaigns and what you have going on? It's important to vet influencers, just like I said before, by looking at the influencer's following, by making sure that that influencer is legit and it fits your brand's mission. I hope that that has helped you. And thank you so much about my daughter, you guys. She's so awesome. I mean, she's my daughter. And I'm not just saying that because she's my daughter, but it is so awesome how we have been able to use social media. Okay, everything that I've done, everything I've shared with you, I've done all organic. I built 2 6-figure businesses off of organic social media. I haven't even tapped into ads yet. And when I tap into ads, I'm a little bit nervous on how it's probably going to help expand and blow up my business, but I'm ready for that at this point. I've laid an excellent foundation to be able to move into that next phase, which is Facebook ads. So my course is called The Principles of Pitching, and it is available for you. I'm so excited because it not only comes with the Principles of Pitching, which has so many amazing modules, but it also has 4 bonus Instagram live sessions and also some downloadables on how to slay your sponsor campaign. Because once you get the brand deal, how do you even slay the sponsor campaign? How do you even know what to do to, go through the campaign, right? So I'm giving you that. And I'm giving you my Pitch with Purpose guide as well, along with a checklist. So I'm so excited. I want to tell you a little bit about what are in the modules. I'm just going to go through this really, really quickly because I know we want to get some questions. So module 1 is going to tell you how you're going to lay the foundation, the purpose of pitching, the importance of establishing a niche, choose which social media accounts you want to focus on. Module 2, what brands will you pitch? How to determine the best brands to pitch? What should you be doing to get noticed? And what do brands look for when looking for influencers for campaigns? You're ready to pitch. Things you should avoid. What should you charge? How to present your ideas to the brands and crafting your pitch. Module 4, slaying the partnership, right? The partnership process. I'm talking about contracts, what you should look for. I'm not a lawyer, but I do have a lawyer on my staff who I have worked with, and I know what to look for when it comes to pitching brands. Okay, so I got you covered there. How to properly execute your partnership, because it's not just getting the brand deal and posting the picture. You really want to make sure that you execute this really, really well so that you continue to land paid partnerships. And then we're going to talk more about following up. Module 5, networks and agencies. There's also platforms like Clever and Four that you can sign up to like win or pitch your brand partnerships. But there's a lot of other influencers signing up for that too. But I'm going to give you the ins and outs on how I easily land partnerships on those platforms and how to craft the perfect pitch for those networks. And you're going to get all my bonuses. Again, I have a media kit mastery. I'm going to help you put your whole media kit together. And also my bonus Instagram live sessions, how to get noticed by brands, what to do when a brand reaches out, how to find brands to collaborate with, and mistakes to avoid as an influencer. And you also get access to all of this as well. My Pitch with Purpose e-guide, my How to Slay Your Sponsor campaign guide as well. So this has been so great. Thank you, Jonah. I know you're there. I'm so excited. I'm looking in at some of the, I want to go back to some of the questions. Thank you so much, Dion Briggs, for joining. This was so great.
Yeah, thank you so much, Michelle. I think we were talking about right before we went live how kind of there is this struggle between recognizing what an influencer is, where you have that power in a small business, and all of that. So I love you diving into like all the aspects and not just being like, now you have to become someone with millions of followers to get any of that.
Yeah,
It's
so you
there's so
don't.
many gradients in between and so many ways to use the platform. So everyone watching, please drop your questions in here. We have a little longer with Michelle where we can ask questions.
I know
Excuse me.
someone said that they have a son and he's 22 months and he could become an influencer. So I want to tell
Yeah,
you,
yeah, right.
DM, please DM me. And I know we weren't talking about this on this, but I want to, because I share my daughter, I do want to let you know that at my agency, we do have a sports division where we do help student athletes. It's a new part. We've been on the news here in Chicago, WGN Channel 9, talking about this new addition to our agency. And if you have a student athlete and you want to help develop their personal brand to help them and not necessarily even be an influencer. There is so much influence that just by building a personal brand that can give your son opportunities that he may not have had if there wasn't social media. So
Right.
definitely send me a DM so we can chat more.
Love that. And I did want to ask you, well, questions are rolling in. I did want to ask you just a little bit more about your course. Because I know this could be for a lot of courses, it can help to have like a community to work with. So, is there a community involved where you can talk to each other, students can talk, or is there a place where you facilitate that where people can ask you questions and reach out if things just aren't quite clicking?
Yes, absolutely. I do have a free Facebook group, and you can always ask me questions in there as well. But me and my team are very responsive. If you have any questions while going through the course, it is my course is simple. It's not, you're not going to spend 5 hours going through one module. Each module is very short, sweet, and to the point. As you see, and if you follow me on social media, you know that I am a no fluff kind of person. So it's going to be straight to the point and give you absolutely what you need right in there. So if you have any questions when you're going through the course, you can absolutely reach out to me. There's some amazing testimonials. If you go to the sales page, you can definitely see some of the students who have went through the course. Some of my students have been able to land 5-figure brand deals. It's crazy.
Woo! I love that. I feel like it even just a couple years ago, everyone was like 200 hours of video, like 90, and it's like no one's got time for that. Let's learn. Let's get to it.
Yeah, no
Um,
one has time for that. And that's why
no,
exactly why I create really short courses. None of my courses that I ever create are long because I'm not the person that wants to spend hours and
right,
hours, going through material. That's why my podcast is short. And people are like, oh my God, you have a podcast, but the episode is only 5 minutes, but it's packed with powerful
that's
information. So
awesome.
that's
Yeah.
my superpower. Actually, you guys, my superpower is the ability to take all of this information that may seem gargantuous and put it into bite-sized information that I can deliver to you and that you can get a better understanding about it.
I love that. We have a few questions rolling in, and so I did want to get to those. The claimants asked, I know this could be a bit specific, but any ideas for what would be brands that could work with us as a step family couples coach? So I'm going to expand the question a little bit beyond the claimants as well, which is just like, how do you go through the process of finding the right brand to work with? Because obviously you don't just, you don't want to go work with Honeywell making, who are making bombs. Like, how do you find a brand that matches right? Because I imagine it could go wrong too if it's not a good fit.
Yeah, so I do a lot of research. Typically, like say, so Grove Collaborative, for example, they have a platform where they have eco-friendly cleaning products and eco-friendly everything. That was what my brand represented when I was a natural hair influencer and a lifestyle influencer. Part of my brand was I worked with a lot, or I talked about a lot of eco-friendly things because that is my lifestyle. We use a lot of reusable things. I use reusable straws and reusable sandwich bags. So when researching, I knew that that brand would be right for me because I already talk about that. It's already a part of my
Mm,
lifestyle. So if things are a part of your lifestyle, I would start to think, oh, maybe I could work. Well, I'm not, you might not work with Apple, but I was going to say, like, oh, I work
right, right.
Apple Watch. Maybe I could hit them up. Or you have a favorite book. Oh, maybe I can hit them up to see if I can partner with them. If, they're having a book tour, if they need influencers to help get the word out. It's so many different products. so many different things that you could do. I just really say to look within what you're already doing and see how you can expand that.
Right. That's awesome. And then kind of a follow up here is how Cheryl was asking, how do you find out if they pay and that conversion, what they pay? Is there any way to find out what a brand's value is beforehand, or is that just a conversation you have to have once you and the brand are talking?
Yeah, it's definitely a conversation. When I worked in influencer marketing, I worked for a multi-million-dollar beauty brand, but sometimes you have to understand that that brand may not have multi-millions of dollars to present to the influencer. So there are budgets involved, right? And I know a lot of us influencers are like, oh, Pantene got the money because it's Pantene. But again, you don't know what their influencer budget may look
Sure,
like.
sure.
So I would say you have to come up with a rate, and I talk about this in the course on how you can come up with your rate. But you need to come up with a rate that fits you. If you have
Hmm.
to get your hair done, if you have to rent a space, if you have to hire a photographer, I'm adding all of that into my cost. And these brands are going to use your content forever and ever. Well, I hope not. Don't sign anything that says in perpetuity. I have that in there
Right,
too. But
right.
so you have to put that all into account.
Okay, that's interesting. And you go through all of that in your course as well?
Yes, I go through all of that on how you can come up with the best pricing for yourself.
And so one other thing I wanna focus on, and this is me asking the question because uh, it is, I think, for a lot of people, they don't realize with how small of an audience. I know you've said it, but it's still hard to realize that anyone would pay you for your 500 to 1,000 people audience. Is there a trick to kind of pitching that, or what level of brand, or are there big brands interested in that they're just going to pay less? How do you sort through that early phase of finding a brand when you're a micro influencer?
Yeah, so you guys, this playing field is all over the place. Some people may have 5-figure rates. Some people may have 2-figure rates. Some people may have 6-figure rates. Okay. Just because you have these rates doesn't mean that they're going to pay you. I just want to say that
Right,
too.
right.
Um, I think that when it comes to that, that you really need to be clear. Number one. Um, can you ask the question again? I lost my train of thought.
Oh,
I was getting to
no,
the
no, no.
last part.
No worries. Just as a micro influencer,
Oh, that's
kind of
what I got.
reiterate, yeah, yeah, what's the best strategy right off the bat for looking for those brands? Because it might be scary to reach out to Coca-Cola or
Reach
something
out
like
to
that.
Coca-Cola. I'm a person that
Okay,
takes
love it.
risks. So I'm taking all the risks because guess what? The least they could say is no. Do you know how many people my husband tags in my daughter's stories every day? You wouldn't even imagine. LeBron James' coach has responded to us. His name is Phil
Ah,
Handy, and he knows my daughter, but that's because my husband put it out there. If you already have a community, right? And if you are nurturing this community, that is what's important for the brands to see. They're going to say, "Oh, Michelle has a community. Look, her community is responding to what she says. They're interacting with her." That's what they're looking for. So I wouldn't say necessarily be scared because you never know what they would say. I have a client who she didn't have a lot of followers. Maybe she had like 2,000 followers. She got a 5-figure brand deal. And of course, it was a long-term brand deal, but a 5-figure brand deal is huge for someone who has less than 5,000 followers. It's totally possible. I work with influencers all the time who may not have a large following, but they have built that community. So that's why it's important for you to build that community, for you to be your true authentic self, because people will notice. So if you show up as who you really are, if you're partnering with that brand, and if you really want to work with that brand, go for it. Let's in 2022, let's not go, let's stop being scared and do it afraid. Pitch
I
Coca-Cola.
love it. Well, I love that. I'm also what I'm hearing too is it's more important than having a large audience is having a community that trusts you and you've cultivated, right? So even
Absolutely.
if you have a small community, treat them well, and that'll lead to.
Absolutely.
I love it. I love it. Well, I think we answered all the questions, and I think we're wrapping up on time here for the day. I did just want to drop your Instagram into the comments, so for everyone watching, go check out Michelle there. The link is there, and the link for the course is in the comments pinned to the top and in the description, and will be emailed to you along with the replay if you want to dive back in. And what before we wrap up, I did want to ask Michelle, I like to kind of ask maybe a little more actionable question. I know from experience, pitching involves a lot of rejection. You're going to pitch to a whole bunch of people and you're going to get rejected a lot. Do you have any advice on how to just deal with that rejection and move forward? Do you have tricks you do? How do you, I know confidence is something you build over time. You don't seem to have a lack of it, but like how do you get into that game and not get like down when you get turned down?
Absolutely. This is such a great question. You're going to get so many no's. Me and my husband right now in the process of pitching cold clients, and we haven't even gotten any back, maybe two, right? So just think about it. For every 100 brands that you pitch, and yes, I'm going to be completely honest, there are influencers out here telling you, oh, just pitch, you're going to land. You do have to have a process and a plan. Maybe you pitch 50 brands one day. Yes, 50. I have pitched more than 50 brands in a day. That's why I'm saying do the research on the brands that you do want to approach. You're going to have to put this list together. But when it comes to taking rejection, know that it's not you, it's not your
Right.
content. That brand just one may not be in a position to pay you. And let's be honest, we want to be paid as influencers. And I'm not talking about $100. Your content is worth more than $100 for this brand to continuously use to make money. So just understand that many brands are not there yet. This is still such a new thing that a lot of them have no clue to what it takes and what it entails when working with influencers. So don't take it personal. I've been denied by some huge brands, but they've came back and wanted to work with me. I'll be honest.
Mm.
First, like, oh, your following's too small. I have 35,000 followers, guys, but that doesn't mean anything. There are influencers with hundreds of thousands of followers. I've worked on the same campaign as celebrities before. So it doesn't matter. You just, again, you have to understand that it may not be you. That brand may not have had the budget. It just may not be the right fit, but you just have to keep going. And confidence, of course, you do build that. But I hope that today with this session that you can build that confidence, pitch these brands. Do not be afraid to do it. I do it every day. I'm about to pitch some brands when I get off of here.
I love it. Well, thank you again, Michelle. I appreciate your time so much. And for everyone watching, thank you for being here. Please hop in the comments. Thank Michelle for her time and expertise. And if you had a good time today, please like and subscribe to the Discover channel. We're consistently trying to bring entrepreneurs, artists, people from all walks of life here to share and help us all grow our businesses and our lives and our hobbies. And we're always having a good time here. Michelle, it's been a total blast. Thank you so much for joining us and hope to see you soon.
Yes, thank you everybody so much. I hope you learned a lot. Make sure to tag me on Instagram. Come and say hi. I don't bite. I love to interact with all of you. This is my dream. So I absolutely love what I do. So hit me up.
Love it. We'll see you all soon.